After my husband's illness, I had to figure out how I was going to make a difference, how I was going to change the environment that we had been through and make something better. And when you do that, the most important thing is to try and figure out the what. What is the problem that made everything go wrong in the first place? What is the core issue that is broken, that needs to be fixed? And I thought about this a lot, and it was one of the reasons why I decided to write the book. And in trying to figure out how to say the what, to folks, I realized I'd already written about it. So I wanted to do my first reading and actually share what I think the problem is that needs to be solved. So, the book, What Lurks in the Woods, this comes from chapter 7. And I'll warn you before I start, there's cuss words. Those who know me won't be surprised at all. Those who don't, after you read the book, you'll get it. I'm a Boston girl and I swear, sorry. And so if you don't like that, I would suggest you maybe turn off this video now. But if you don't mind it, I'll read and share with you that moment that I realized how broken everything was. Dr. Craven looked up from his PC. Well, based upon our discussion and some of his symptoms, I was worried he might have frontal temporal dementia. But looking at the images, I agree that Alzheimer's is the right diagnosis. Russ stood up. He couldn't take it anymore. I have to take a piss, he said as he stormed out of the room. When the door closed, I looked directly at the doctor. Dr. Craven, I know what the PET scan says. What I don't understand is why. Russ is 61 and he's declining so fast. I've been researching and everything I find says it's rare to see Alzheimer's below the age of 65 if there isn't a genetic predisposition. And it's even rarer to see people with early onset and rapid onset. He has no comorbidities, he exercises, and he eats healthy. It doesn't make any sense. There has to be a reason this is happening. He thumbed through the papers in my folder, but nothing grabbed his interest. He closed the folder and we made eye contact. Well, Mrs. Bell, I know this isn't what you want to hear, but sometimes shit happens. Those who know me know I'm pretty unflappable. My dad liked to tease, my older brother tortured me, I grew up in Boston. It was hard to ruffle my feathers. But in all my 41 years, never have I wanted to strangle a man more than I wanted to strangle that doctor at that moment. My mind raced. Shit happens? Shit happens? 4 years of medical school, 3 years of residency, 3 years of fellowship, decades in clinical practice, and the best you have to offer me is shit happens? Imagine if someone said that to me at work. Yeah, the robot isn't following any of our programming instructions, but sometimes shit happens. No, shit doesn't happen. Shitstorm A causes shitstorm B and maybe rolls downhill to shitstorm C. But shit doesn't just fucking happen. Shit causes shit to happen, and it is your fucking job to figure out which shit caused this to happen to my husband. I sat there paralyzed. My censorship chip had shorted, and I couldn't figure out how to make anything useful out of the tornado in my brain. Before I could sort out my paralysis, Russ returned to the room. I wiped the look of shock off my face and forced a smile. Dr. Craven clicked through a few more images and then turned to face both of us. So, you don't seem to think Aricept is helping. Have you tried Namenda? An automaton took over my body and asked, do you think it will help? Well, it sometimes does, at least for a little while. I shook my head. How anyone could live in this world of sometimes and little whiles was beyond me. I thought of the stakes. In maybe a year or two, my husband would lose everything. His knowledge, his skills, his memory, his continence, his dignity. And this was the best modern medicine had to offer? I forced back the tears. Once again, I had no answers, no root cause, and apparently no hope. So that's the problem. The problem is that people suffering with chronic illness are going to doctors looking for answers. I was begging for answers, and it's a reason why my husband's brain was systematically being destroyed. and all we're getting is a useless prescription or, a shit happens. And we deserve better than that. We deserve answers. And the answers are out there. You just have to know where to look. And so that's the what. That's the what. That's the problem that we need to solve.